Good morning. There's one name I want you all to remember today. Lavoy Finchem. I'm not going to go into who that is, so go ahead and look it up. But today's topic is on property and your rights. Now, as many of you know, the housing bubble of 2008 made a lot of people rich. It also made even more people lose everything they had, and they aren't able to recover. It's pretty obvious at this point in history that we are reaching a point where the forces against freedom are creating the conditions so that you will never be able to own land, so that you'll never be able to grow your own food, raise your own livestock, be independent of the government. Now, is that going to happen tomorrow or next week or next year? No. You'll still be able to buy a house, technically which you don't own, if you want to get into property rights and mortgages and things like that, and who owns what. Technically, the bank owns your house until you have it paid in full, and then you're listed as the owner, but you still pay a property tax. Now, if you pay a tax on something you own, do you really own it? No, you don't. That means it can be taken away from you if you don't pay that tax. Well, then, that means that you don't own your home that you think you own. You really don't. I know. I've gotten into a lot of arguments over the years with this very topic with a lot of different people. So here's what I'm getting at. Basically, since I anticipate that the proverbial shit is going to hit the fan within my lifetime, unfortunately, I want to be in a position where I'm not exposed to whatever is going to be the result, right? In other words, where I'm not in the city. And that's becoming an increasingly difficult thing to do, is position myself where I can live out of Sacramento, away from the city, away from the major population centers. But I'm working on it. One of the things that I'm doing is studying cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ant shares, Ripple. I don't want to do Ripple. Now, just a real quick breakdown. One of the entire purposes of cryptocurrency is that the government doesn't control it. Now, the government government banks do control some cryptocurrencies. Ripple, for example, is centralized, meaning that it is controlled by the centralized banks. So that's not one you want to invest in if you want to have your money or your assets untouchable by government. And I know that that doesn't sound like it's realistic. In most people's heads, government is everything, right? Well, not in my head. As a matter of fact, as a point of fact, as a matter of something that you may not be aware of, but is still true nonetheless, or that you may not agree with, but is still true nonetheless, there are cryptocurrencies out there that cannot be touched by the central banking authorities. Yet. So I want to jump in on those. Now, Ant shares, for example. If you had gotten in on Ant shares, if I had gotten in on Ant shares a month ago when the price was hovering around $1, and I had cashed it out about a week or week and a half ago today, I would have made 10 times my investment. 10 times. It's just now hitting me how huge that is. How massively huge that is. Now, right now, Ethereum is sitting at, or not Ethereum, Ant shares is sitting at $9.30 something cents, I believe, and just a couple of days ago, or 3 or 4 days ago, maybe it was over $11. So, of course, as you all know, there was an explosion in cryptocurrency a couple of weeks ago, and now it's back on the downtrend. Now it's crashing. Well, I had just started looking into it right before it exploded. And I saw that and I was like, oh, wow, 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 you know. Well, now it's on the downturn. It's crashing. So I'm a little bit less enthusiastic. So now I'm starting to look more long-term, starting to plan. And I want to basically take a chunk of money and split it up over 10 different currencies over a couple of different exchanges. Right now I'm using Bittrex and Bitfinex. I'm still getting the handle of both of them. They're pretty involved and in-depth. And once you spend a couple hours on either one of those sites, once you have an account set up, you'll see how in-depth and involved it is. But all the transaction tools are there. All you need basically is your email, PayPal, an exchange account, and to be able to purchase whatever coin you want and start trading or investing or mining. We'll get into mining in another video because I still don't quite understand how that works, but the vast majority of these cryptocurrencies, Ant shares for example, China is interested in trading. Ant shares is a Chinese cryptocurrency. Now it is decentralized at the moment, but I'll bet you if China gets its hands on some better trading investments and the value of Ant shares goes up, I'll bet you they're going to want to centralize it. Maybe with the Asian banks. I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but the bottom line is this. For my entire life, I've been kind of a sucker for get-rich-quick schemes, except it happens very quickly. Once I find out it's a pyramid scheme or a multi-level marketing scam, I'm out. I've never invested any money in them. I've just always been curious about them. And I've always been curious about the stock market too. I've never invested in that either, and for the most part I think it's a scam unless you really understand it and how to work it. Now, I have friends that have invested for decades and they're pretty successful at it. I should have been learning from them this entire time. Well, this time, at 44 years old, here's an opportunity. I see this cryptocurrency world as an opportunity that I can get in on the ground floor, because you don't have to have tens of thousands of dollars to be able to make an initial investment package or get started investing in trading. You don't. You can buy fractions of these currency coins. Right now, Bitcoin is at $2,500. A few days ago, it was at $2,700, so it's coming down too. It's not going to crash, but it is going to come down with the market as the rest of these cryptocurrencies come down over the next couple of weeks, I imagine. Now, that might be a hell of a prediction, I don't know. So you guys that know more about this stuff, leave a comment down below and let me know. But I want to set myself up financially. I've always wanted to be financially secure. I'm 44. I'm tired of working for nothing. I have nothing to show for my entire adult working life, except my truck, my few possessions. I don't have any assets. I don't have any capital. My entire life has been one struggle after another to get ahead. Now, I know you can relate. Most people can. In fact, most people in the United States are just a paycheck away from being right out on the street. I've been there. I am there. I'm tired of it. I don't want there to be a situation where I can't get ahead because the opportunities aren't there. Well, I'm telling you, government is making it so that the opportunities to be independent of it aren't there. And one of the things they're going after toward that end is cryptocurrency. So I am feeling the urgency to get on it now while I can, and hopefully get smart about it as I go along, make some smart investments, do some good research, and hopefully make some good predictions. I mean, this is all about speculation, but if I'm successful, that means that I will have that opportunity to own property, preferably in a location far removed from the major population centers so that I don't have to deal with the diseases, with the lack of food, with the people, with the looting and robbing that's going to be going on in the city centers, with the population moving out of the city centers on foot or by whatever other means they can. I mean, if you're a local farmer and you live within a 50-mile radius of a major city center and the shit hits the fan and maybe the power grid goes down, you're fucked. Because there's going to be tens of thousands of people coming your way, and anything that you've got, they're going to be picking clean on their way. So, by far away and removed from society, I mean just that. I mean out in the boonies, out in the middle of the mountains, where there's no roads, no electricity, where there's no pipeline access, where there's no water access, in other words, being piped to the location. That's what I'm talking about. 100 miles or more away from any city, any municipality. Now, that's going to be tough to do in the United States because of the way that the highway system is laid out here. There is no more than 70 square miles in any one part of the United States where you can't reach some civilization. So that part could be hard, but I'm not discouraged. I'm going to do it anyway. So wish me luck, guys. Let me know if you have any experience with cryptocurrency. I want to talk to more people that are actually making money on this stuff, and I am talking to a few. So anyway, leave me a comment, thumb this video up or down. Let me know what you think in general. Have a great day.